This is 45. We're going to talk about Dragon Ball. But mostly we're going to talk about the divide in the fan base. Namely, let's just go out and say it. Some guy gave a goat a bean and nobody liked it. Well, a lot of people didn't like it. I'm one of the select few that did like it. For one reason. It's character consistency. We all know our guy Goku hit his head pretty hard as a kid when he hit Earth, so that kind of affects his judgment, but in a lot of ways for the better, at least for the betterment of his enemies. Anyway, I have a stack of references that show that many times has he done this same thing, and a lot of people call what he did with Moro, giving him a senzu bean, character regression, when it is in fact the opposite. Or a neutral stasis. It is character consistency all throughout. We've seen Goku and other people do the exact same thing or very similar in different situations. So I'm just going to kind of skim through first Dragon Ball. This might be a multi-parter, but we're going to skim through Dragon Ball. I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of many times he's shown leniency or the opposite even, where Goku has gone through a lot of character development. But to be honest, Goku was way more savage as a kid, and he's grown softer over the years, at least through his heart. Where he's grown stronger in body, he's gained a softer heart in time. So right here, he's fighting the android in the Red Ribbon's White Fortress. He blows his head off. This was like one of, I think, the first fatality in the whole show, really. Could be wrong there. But I mean, even as an android. Thanks, babe. He's, you know, he says, rest in peace, ugly bad guy. You know, he felt remorse for even an android. You know, he overdid it and he knew that. That's an example of him being a little bit savage, but he's still... Goku is a saint. Son Goku, that's a title that's reserved for saints. Here's another example of Goku as a kid being savage. But I mean, I guess, I don't know if monsters count. So here he's fighting the Jiggler. He's trapped in... General White trapped him in the basement, and he's like, oh, I can't defeat this guy, so he cracks open a wall and freezes the virtually indestructible monster, kicks him in the chest, he shatters to pieces. Do monsters count? I don't know. You be the judge on that. Oh, yeah, this is funny. Goku going out of his way to save a rat from a crumbling building. That's great. What a saint. Just having the wherewithal to save a little rat. That's funny to me. This is an example of him destroying the Red Ribbon general guy. He blasts through the mech droid and fucking blows it up. Now that's an inadvertence. I don't know. We know Goku's not a literal rocket science, so I mean this thing blowing up is kind of a consequence of the guy's... I mean, he put himself into that position. That's debatable, but that's an example of Goku's savagery as a child, despite, you know, multiple attempts, and General Tao as well, when he kicked the grenade up and saved his friend. You know, General Tao didn't die, but he took some pretty heavy damage from that. So this one's interesting. This one's when he killed a Tambourine, and he completely destroyed him. Now this was after Krillin got killed by this guy. Granted, the whole point, Yajirobe wanted to eat him, so I mean, you could call him food. I don't know if that's considered murder. He did Kamehameha him to dust, though. And he did it without remorse, actually. So that's one thing. See, Goku definitely a little savage as a kid. Here's a pretty neat example when he killed King Piccolo, the original King Piccolo, blasted him through the gut. We all remember that. You know, he never wants to kill his enemies, but you know, sometimes it happens. His fight with Piccolo Jr., our Piccolo, our boy. Now, this is a pretty brutal fight. It was a tournament fight, but I mean, it got way out of hand. Kami went to kill him. This is an example. Look, he's older now. He's grown in heart and spirit and body, bigly. And, hell, he knows how to fly now at this point. He's had a lot of character development from this point on. And he outright stops Kami from killing Piccolo for a multitude of reasons. But his main one is classic Goku. He says, I'll just have to beat him again, and, you know, it's no big deal. That's classic Goku. But Kami, you know, if he killed Piccolo, he would have died with him. So he had a multitude of purposes for not allowing the death of Piccolo Jr. But this is the first time we see Goku reaching adulthood, like he's an adolescent now. And he outright spared Piccolo. Not only that, but he gave him a Senzu Bean as well. Ta-da! First time he gives his enemy a Senzu Bean. Sound familiar? Oh wait, I didn't actually show the panel of him giving him the actual Senzu Bean. Let's do that, just so you know I'm not lying. Doodle-doo. Right there. Eat this. It'll perk you up. That's to the guy that literally wanted to rule the world under the title of King of Demons. He spared Piccolo. That worked out. That was a big example of sparing your enemy through specifically a Senzu Bean working out. Piccolo is an MVP of the Z Warriors. He's the smartest tactician. Raditz. Now we're straying away from the bean. We're just going on Mercy, but I mean the bean specifically happens a lot. This is when he grabs Raditz's tail, and of course, even despite Piccolo as an ally now telling him he's an idiot, poor Piccolo, he's seen this like so many fucking times. It's got to be ridiculous for him at this point, but here he is. He's showing his enemy mercy. Right about... It's all lies. Hold him. I'm going to kill him. No, Kakarot, let me go. You know, boom. He got jacked. You know? Was that a lesson learning elbow he took to the face? I don't think so. I don't think he learned his lesson. That's Dragon Ball Z. That's the first example in Dragon Ball Z. Now this one's kind of splitting hairs, but he did give mercy to Nappa. He didn't kill him when he absolutely could. We all know Goku's not a savage assassin. But, I mean, he broke the guy's back. That's savage enough. But he did straight up tell him, he's like, he's not going to be fighting anymore. Take him home. I don't want to kill him. Vegeta was like, I don't like that. How about I kill him? We all know how that went. Didn't work out too well for Nappa. In fact, he's just not in the story anymore. But still an example of mercy. Good old Vegeta. This is arguably the most important case of showing mercy on your enemy ever. When he telepathically communicated with Krillin not to kill Vegeta when he had the chance to. After everybody was broken, bloody, and defeated, Krillin was the last one standing. Vegeta was about to retreat, and I mean that's everybody knows that. That's a big one. No senzu bean, but that's a huge example of mercy working out for the future of the Dragon Ball story. Not just the Z Fighters, but the story itself. And of course, here's another example of giving a senzu bean to an enemy. Now at this point, Vegeta is considered more of an ally, but let's remember, the last time Goku saw Vegeta, Vegeta crushed literally every bone in his body and, you know, killed his friends vicariously through Cybermen and his own actions and orders. Of course, we know that Vegeta was not working for Frieza, so this was Vegeta's own doing that what he did. Gives him a senzu bean. Right there. Vegeta needed that senzu bean. Goku realized that, you know, Vegeta's a powerful ally, but also, Vegeta's no fucking friend to Goku. There's another example of Goku giving an enemy senzu bean. More mercy. When he took out Berta and Raccoon, Vegeta called him soft. He took mercy on his enemies. Vegeta didn't like it, killed him. Y'all remember that shit? Goku showing mercy on his enemies. Those guys could have come back and, you know, that guy just fucking broke his son's neck. Just a few pages this way. That happened. And he's still willing to give them mercy. Here, this one's a little iffy, a bit of a stretch, because Goku did in fact show mercy on Captain Ginyu. He completely outclassed him in power, and he verbatim says he doesn't want to kill him. He doesn't want to waste time fighting him. He should leave instead. He did say he didn't seem as evil as he once thought, but he still, you know, he took pity and mercy on his enemy and immediately got fucked for it. Because he did the body switch not one panel later. Well, actually, there's a little bit in there, but yeah. Immediately got fucked for that decision of mercy. He could have taken him out and instead was like, hey, you know, let's be friends. Captain Ginyu didn't want to be friends. He wanted his body. Goku got bit in the ass. Goku has still not learned his lesson. All these examples in. Let's keep going. Vegeta killing Jace. Goku had a problem with that. Even after his body is snatched and he's in a wounded Captain Ginyu body with his guts hanging out of his chest, he's still having trouble watching people die. Even though they're enemies that want him dead, that don't give a shit about him or his friends. You know, don't kill Jace, Vegeta. That's wrong. Killing is badong. You know? Goku cares. He still hasn't learned his lesson. Despite being in a torturous existence at the moment, he's still crying out for the mercy of his enemies. We're not done. Frieza! Remember that battle? Yeah. The most vicious, evil son of a bitch he's ever faced. After a grueling battle, after he's killed Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin exploded right in front of his eyes by Frieza's own hand. He gets cut in two by his own attack, and Frieza begs for his life. Begs for mercy. Goku, struggling greatly, still gives him that mercy. He gives him his own energy, enough to be able to leave the planet. Only to have Frieza immediately try to blast him out of the sky. Completely futile. I will kill you! You gave me your energy and I'm gonna send that energy right at you! I don't think Goku's learned his lesson yet. I'm not seeing the character development. I'm seeing character consistency. And we all know how that ends. Good old Trunks. So, we're well into Dragon Ball Z now. It's looking pretty consistent though. Ah, the Cell arc. Here's where a lot of people like to just say that the senzu bean move was directly like a callback to this saga right here, what he did to Moro. And very similar, but different. As for Krillin's sensu beans, throws Cell a sensu bean. Cell's like, well, you're an idiot. Everybody around him is saying, Goku, you're insane. Piccolo literally says, Goku. Well, let's let that... Goku, what you did was insanity. Literal insanity. By multiple versions of the definition of insanity. Because one of not a sane mind, a clean mind, came up with that, and it's a repetition of previous mistakes, which is a very big symptom of insanity. But he did that, as we all know, to give Cell a fair fight with Gohan. Now, he never regretted that. He never regretted giving Cell the bean. I'm going to end this video actually on this one. We'll pick up part 2 this. Or we'll just go with a full 20 minutes. Why not? Look. Several panels in, Gohan is like almost died. His own son. The only one giving a fuck about his son is his real dad, his green dad, Piccolo. Piccolo's screaming at Goku, calling him an idiot, saying he's not like him. But there's Goku. Does that look like the face of regret for giving Cell a sensu bean? That looks like the face of confidence in his son's strength. That's all he's thinking about. He knows what Gohan is capable of, even though nobody else does. And then it happens. 16 gets destroyed. Cell Juniors start whooping up on the Z team. The only ones that can defend themselves are Trunks and Vegeta. But that's pretty much the final straw. And then he crushes 16's head. Gohan snaps. And then, boom. The bean meant nothing. Whether he gave Cell the bean or not, this or a very similar happenstance would have happened. Here we are. And now Krillin and everybody see what Goku was talking about. Now here... And there was Goku yelling at Gohan, telling him to finish off Cell. But that was when Gohan had Cell dead to rights. He could have finished it right there. The bean is still irrelevant at that point. And everybody saw Gohan's power and knew what Goku was talking about. They finally saw where his confidence was coming from. So that was a big one. Yeah, he gave Cell a bean. But it didn't fucking matter. Now here's kind of an example of like what people might say, oh, Goku's not a saint, he killed Yakon. Remember when he killed Yakon? He's no saint. Actually, no, Yakon was feeding off his light and energy, and Goku just decided to power up, basically give him more energy. So the guy pretty much offed himself. Hey, that kind of looks like when Moro exploded, huh? Eyeballs. Pop. And so Kakarot's surpassed the Super Saiyan Wall 2. Yeah, that's all he did. He basically powered up to Super Saiyan 2. And it was too much for Yakon. He inadvertently killed the Yakon. Yakon killed himself with his own power. His own greed killed him. That doesn't count. Or it could count. But it's still, you know, that's gray area. Now, this is another weak example of Goku showing mercy towards Dabura. Vegeta's not having it. Vegeta sees that, although Vegeta's not showing that he cares, Vegeta also understands how these battles can go, especially with someone as dangerous as Dabura. No problem for Goku and Vegeta, so Vegeta, for that reason, doesn't want to sit on the sidelines and watch Gohan struggle with this enemy. Vegeta's ready to off this guy immediately. Goku just wants to see Gohan fight. He wants to see him a good battle. But that's Gohan being, or that's Goku being honorable and honestly naive, whereas Vegeta has more of the killer instinct, a more soldier-like, raw mentality to just get shit done, as opposed to being honorable, you know, fighter. So that weak example, but it's still it is one. Now Goku lowering his guard, getting knocked out by Vegeta. He showed mercy to Vegeta, or he took him for granted. Vegeta offed him. Does that count? No. But maybe I just like seeing Goku get knocked out by Vegeta. What have we here? Ah! Goku lowering his guard, taking the situation for granted, saying that Gohan can handle Buu now, instead of using the fusion, using the optimal transformation to destroy him. Now granted, that was permanent, so it really was logical for him not to do that. But this is also different from what had happened in the anime, where the anime kind of insinuated that Goku could have taken him, but really Gohan's in charge of this battlefield right now, once Buu regressed to that form. It's another weak example, but it's still him showing leniency and just being kind of cavalier and nonchalant about the whole thing when it's the battle for the universe. Let's look at more examples. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the Kid Buu fight with Vegeta and Buu. Alright, Vegeta and Goku going at it. So it's insinuated that he might have been holding back for Vegeta to have a shot at fighting him. Now Vegeta calls him basically an idiot for doing that, saying, "Hey, Goku, I understand what's happening. This monster is too powerful for me. Why don't you just go ahead and take him out?" And basically, it's kind of like Goku needs that minute. He really does need that minute to charge up to be able to take him out. But he fucking burnt his chance up to do that by toying with the situation. Not toying with Buu, but taking the situation for granted and ruining his chance. That's another form of showing, it's not mercy, but it is leniency that could have fucked everybody over. And then there's this. Here's a good example, very similar to the Cell deal. This is the Vegeta deal and Piccolo. This is in a circumstance where Vegeta, after Kid Buu's been destroyed and Fat Buu was released from Kid Buu, Vegeta was about to blast Fat Buu into oblivion while he was unconscious. Goku directly stops him from doing that. And Vegeta had very good reason to want to kill Fat Buu. And honestly, Goku didn't have very much good reason other than instinct or intuition to keep him alive. This is an example of Goku showing mercy to his enemies. And it's, at this point in time, their most dangerous enemy yet. And we can't forget about good old Kid Buu. I kind of skimmed over it, but it's not exactly mercy. But he did wish for Kid Buu to come back. You fought hard, all by yourself. I hope you get reincarnated as a good guy, so I can fight you one-on-one. I'll be training and waiting. That's Goku saying that to a vicious, mindless killing machine. With no conscience, barely a mind, literally doesn't have a heart. I mean, that's Goku being... There's literally, it's impossible to have mercy in this situation because dire straits all across the board. Goku had to finish Kid Buu, but even as his last prayer for Kid Buu, he wished him a reincarnated life as a good guy. That's proof of saintlyhood. That's just Goku and his big heart. And you know, there's also there's example of when Goku fought Toppo. Oh, where's that? I lost my spot. Yeah, the first time Goku fought Toppo, he took him for granted and got his ass whooped. Despite what happened in the anime, the manga is actually different. This is why I like the Dragon Ball Super manga, because it actually is an improvement in a lot of ways. But yeah, during the exhibition match, Goku versus Toppo, Goku gets straight up wrung out because he took his opponent for granted. He gave him leniency. Where the fuck is it? Oh, the one I don't have a mark on. Yeah, right here. Boom. Here it is. This is when Goku's using Super Saiyan Red or Super Saiyan God, and Beerus yells at him to hurry up and go blue and finish him off. Goku gets distracted, blah blah. He's like, okay, yeah. Toppo's like, fuck you, guy. He says, take this. But Toppo's just like, nah, too little, too late. Fucking kicks him right in the gut. Ring out. That didn't happen in the anime, so that's actually pretty cool. And then this is Goku discussing that fact with Vegeta and Beerus, saying he lost to Toppo. And Vegeta says, you weren't using your full strength, were you? Goku says, not really. But it looks like there's someone even stronger than the guy I lost to in his universe. You know, that's Goku showing leniency on his enemies, and it didn't work out for him. So, and then that brings us to, I think that's the last example. Yeah. Other than Goku giving Moro the beam. So, I mean, there's one example in Dragon Ball Super. And then there's all these almost 30 minutes worth of examples in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball. So, character regression? Or is it character consistency? I think it's character consistency. That's about it for the video. This has been 45, Colt 45, you know, 2 zigzags. I'll see you on the next one.